Alrighty, everybody. I am bringing you all an absolute treat. We are going to drive right into that Grand Theft Auto Vice City run, any percent, no SSW. For you, I can read, by English Ben. Let's go ahead and rev up our engine.
I like that intro. Thank you very much. Welcome, everybody, to GTA Vice City. A couple of things that you'll notice before we start off the run here, because there's a lot of stuff to talk about in the first minute or so. Is we're playing the Japanese version of the game. That isn't for any reason that you might expect, like the text boxes. The text boxes are faster or anything like that. It is actually because different glitches are possible on this re-release of the game that we'll be showing later on. But just keep that in mind for now. Keep that in the back of your heads, and we'll get going. So I'll start the timer in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. So there are lots of things to talk about. As I say, GTA Vice City is a very complicated run. This is a very beginner-friendly, not a lot of luck involved, kind of beginner-friendly route that I'll be doing. So it'll be the easiest to explain, but there's still a lot. It's very front and back loaded. There's a lot of glitches at the start and a lot of glitches at the end. So a couple of things that you'll see me doing throughout the run is whenever I'm on a motorbike like this, I will be mashing lean forward. As you can see, Tommy is kind of standing up and sitting down again. That's just simply to go faster. It sounds stupid, but it's literally true. It just makes the bikes go quicker. That's all. That's literally all there is to it. Also, if you ever see me sprint like this, I'll be tapping the sprint key rather than holding it, for the most part. That massively increases your stamina. It's not quite infinite, but it's seemingly infinite. Like, you can basically run pretty much forever. So our first objective is to go towards the lawyer marker, and I'm going the complete opposite way because we're going to get into some glitches. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to stand on top of this rampage marker here. I'm going to press a lot of random buttons, and I'm going to die. And this may seem all so strange already, and it is, I promise you. If you've never seen GTA before, buckle in, because this is where it's going to get really interesting. So I'm going to go here to this ambulance. And don't worry, I'm going to explain all of this after I've shown it to you, because we have like 2 minutes to talk about it afterwards. But I'll give you a play-by-play, and then I'll explain exactly what we're doing and how it works. So I'm going to start the rampage that I just picked up remotely, which you shouldn't be able to do ever, along with the ambulance side mission. I'm going to cancel the ambulance side mission, and I'm going to start the first mission of the game. So what on earth just happened there? Why is there a timer on my screen? Why are there loads of HUD elements that you wouldn't usually see? So the mega TLDR is that this game has a variable called the on-mission variable, and that can be a 1 or a 0. Think of it like a light switch. Every GTA person who's heard this a million times is rolling their eyes, but for the people that don't know, it is very important to know. Think of it like a light switch. When that light switch is on, or aka on-mission variable is set to 1, you're on a mission. So you can't be called by anybody who wants to give you new missions. You can't start new missions because you're already on one. And when you're on mission 0 or the light switch is off, you are in free roam mode. So you can be disturbed, you can get phone calls, you can start other missions because you're not currently on one. What I just did is I abused the game's replay system. Replays are very broken. The idea is it's a PC exclusive feature that lets you replay the last 30 seconds of footage. Because obviously this game came out way before you could just like record and put it on YouTube and stuff, right? So you could go ahead and replay the last 30 seconds of footage. But what I did was I manipulated the replay so that I can pick up the rampage remotely by basically, because the replay system doesn't actually play you back like a video file, it recreates the events in game. So if you pick up something in game, like a rampage icon, it actually counts as you picking it up. As I say, very, very bugged. So I picked up the rampage icon, and rampages are considered a mission in the game. Old game code, don't worry about it. The rampage is a mission. So what I did was with the ambulance just then, like a minute or so ago, as I say, there's a lot to talk about. We're going very far ahead. This is already the second mission of the game. What I did was I got into the ambulance, and starting the ambulance submission, which is like a side mission that you can do where you can rescue patients, is also a mission. So I started the rampage and the ambulance side mission at the same time. And what that does is it immediately puts us into a glitch state where the game just immediately starts crying, because you should never be able to start 2 missions, again, rampage and ambulance, at the same time. The game just does not like that at all. And now this state is just going to carry us through a bunch of glitches that we can execute from this state. So you might think to yourself, well, English Ben, you started 2 missions at the same time. You're on a mission now, but nothing really seems that different. Obviously, we're driving quite fast. We're picking up a couple of weapons and stuff, but the mission itself is the same. Nothing is really broken, and that is completely true. That's a completely fair point. But the next mission is where all of that is going to change. So I'm going to run over this chef. Usually this would be like a melee tutorial, but you can just drive a bike into him. And then what I'm going to do is the rampage failed. The rampage has like a 2-minute time limit. And I'm going to restart that rampage here. You see with the replay. That's me playing the replay, so you can see it in live action. And now that big green timer on the top right is running, and that's the rampage timer. It's telling me that I have 2 minutes to kill 30 people with a Molotov, right? That's what a rampage is. You just go and kill a bunch of people with a set weapon. The important thing is that 2-minute time limit, I need to stick by very closely. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish this second mission, which is Back Alley Brawl, and then I'm going to time the third mission. So I start the third mission of the game, which is Jury Fury, with about 3 seconds left on the rampage timer. And what is going to happen is I'm going to start Jury Fury as normal. The rampage timer is going to run out, and because I failed the rampage, it's going to set my on mission variable to 0. So the game is going to think that I'm not on a mission when I am, and then I'm going to start the mission a second time. And this is where the ramifications of the glitches really come into play. Because as you can imagine, starting 2 of the same mission at the same time is also something that you absolutely should not do. And in this particular instance, what is going to happen is I'm going to start the mission and I'm going to pass the mission immediately. So the reason that works is because the entire aim of Jury Fury, to start and beat the mission, all you have to do is destroy 2 cars. That's it. So when I start the mission and I start it a second time, the game isn't expecting me to have 2 instances of the mission, right? We talked about that. So what it's going to do is it's going to take it as, 2 individual instances of the mission. So it's going to spawn the 2 cars, and then it's going to spawn another 2 cars on top because I started the mission a second time. And that second set of cars is going to spawn on top of the first set of cars, and they're going to damage themselves, and the mission is going to pass because according to the game, the cars have been damaged, mission pass. That's it. That's as simple as the game is, and you can abuse that very heavily, and we'll be abusing that much more later on. So as you can see here, this is where the big glitch comes in. This is what all this setup is for. I'm going to walk in with 3 seconds left on the timer, start Jury Fury, skip the cutscene. Tommy walks back in, cutscene a second time, which means that I've started 2 instances. You can see there's 2 cars here, there's 2 guys getting run over. That's how you know you've done it right. And then the mission is just going to pass. Give it a few seconds, get on the bike because we can use it. And just like that, the mission passes. So that is an entire mission skipped within 3 missions of the game. So as you can imagine, as I say, the whole on-mission variable thing, I completely understand. It's a lot to get into. And if you're wondering, oh God, is there more? There is, but not for a long time. So you've got some rest period to take some notes. It will be on the quiz later. But yeah, for the next 10, 20 minutes, it's mostly just high level intentional missions. Like for this one, for example, which is Riot, the big sequence break, quote unquote, here isn't really much of a sequence break, but it saves a lot of time. You're intended to go and get a set of overalls, like dungarees that you can use to blend in with these guys and start a riot, and then gain access to this compound so you can blow up the vans. But if we just picked up those guns that we did earlier, we can just use those guns instead. I should have kept the bike with me. That was a mistake. It's okay, I can just blow it up now. I should have kept the bike with me because I didn't have enough health to die from that barrel explosion, but I can just shoot the bike and die.
Backup strat, shoot a bike, it's fine.
Yeah, exactly. The good thing about running this game for 9 years is I have made every mistake at least once, if not 100 times. So I know how to deal with every single mistake and how to deal with it.
Incredible.
So some minor strategies you can see here.
Donating, so whenever you have time, cue me in.
Yeah, for sure. I'll just explain one last thing. So as you can see here, Tommy is in a weird state where he sort of looks like he's jogging, but he's moving very fast. That is called sliding. It's not quite as fast as sprinting, but it's very useful in situations like this. As you can see, I can't sprint right now with Tommy. I'm trying to sprint. I'm pressing the key. He can't sprint while he's answering a phone call. You can't skip phone calls. So the only thing you can do is optimize the movement while you are on a phone call, as we can't skip them. That was a San Andreas thing. Till 2 years before we were able to skip phone calls. So yeah, optimizing that movement. You'll see some sliding later on as well. But yeah, feel free. Let's talk about some non-GTA stuff for a little bit.
Yeah, I would absolutely love to, because this run is incredible and you're doing so many two things at once, I'm hearing, and chat can get in on that fun if they'd like to, because we actually have a 2-for-1 deal going on right now. If you donate, any donation at all goes towards our BPM bonus rush during Hi-Fi Rush, which is our very next run. That adds 10 minutes onto the marathon, and any donation goes towards it, because we will unlock it when we get $808 on the marathon, which is only about $200 away, and I know GTA Crew can get us to $700 before the end of this run. So let's make that happen. And also, you can put your donation towards our incentives. Right now, we have a bid war open for Hi-Fi Rush, and we have an upgrade to 100% incentive open for BPM bullets per minute, which is a rhythm game where you shoot monsters to the beat. It's really quite cool. Not biased as a commentator for that run, but like, we definitely want to see that at 100%. And that's at $150 total. We need all $150 of those. So go ahead and put your donation towards that upgrade to 100%, and it goes towards Hi-Fi Rush. We've also got $5 from Zola, who says, GL, HF. Good luck, have fun.
Thank you, Zola.
I assume.
Those are always the best kind of incentives, as well as the ones that involve more content, extending the marathon. That's always a big 2 thumbs up from me.
Together, both of those add about 20 minutes to the whole marathon, which is like a lot of time. So yeah, let's get it rolling.
Let's get it rolling. Yeah, thank you. So Treacherous Swine, you to see the mission is about to pass in just a moment. So what you saw there is when I started the mission, I went to a seemingly innocuous garage, and I made a replay there. And you might think to yourself, English Ben, you know, where are we making replays now? I thought you said we weren't doing any big strats with replays. And that is true. It's not a particularly big strat. I'm going to make sure that I don't get arrested here. I'm also making sure I'm not going to run over anyone, because that would extend my wanted level, and I need my wanted level to pass. It's not a big deal, because I can talk about things, which is always good. I can slightly delay here. I'll head into the garage, because there is a chance that a cop can spot me, so I'm going to try and hide from them. There we go. Perfect. But yeah, so I went into that garage and I made a replay, but that isn't for any big sequence break or anything. All that is, as I said before, replays can be used to pick up any item in the game, like any object. And in the mission after this one, there's going to be a gun that is picked up that I need to pick up. And once I pick it up, it continues to the next part of the mission. And so what I can do is I can just play that replay of me picking up the gun, and it saves me driving there. That's all. So it's like a 20-second time save. So not a big, complicated glitch or anything. So we're still on relatively normal gameplay for now. This is also another mission that you can easily, really break just by playing well and sort of knowing what you're doing. We're going to do a thing called a roll cancel here. So whenever Tommy jumps off a ledge, he will roll, but I can skip it by pressing my jump key. And that allows me to catch up to this guy. Usually you would have a chase with him on a bike. But if I park my bike right next to him where I know he's going to be, and then I kill him immediately with the chainsaw that we got from the previous mission, I can then get on my bike and just leave immediately and skip that entire chase sequence. Got to be very careful when going around here. Many speedrunners, not to name names, but it's been done at GDQ before, that's all I'll say. Many speedrunners have sunk their bike in that bit of ocean there ever since we started doing that, like 10 years ago. So this is the replay here, so I'm just playing the replay of me collecting the weapon, and just like that, it teleports me to the garage, saves me having to drive there. It doesn't actually count as picking up the gun, for some reason. I'm not quite sure why. I think it's because I'm on the bike and I can't grab a weapon while I'm not on foot. I don't know. But regardless, you don't have to grab the gun. It's optional, but it's safer to grab it, so I'm going to, because it's a marathon. And then we're going to make arguably the most broken replay you will ever see. This is going to be used all the way throughout the run. This is a closed pickup. And closed pickups have a million different benefits. The downside is that you can only collect them when they're nearby, so you have to drive to one, and that's inconvenient and slow. However, the replay means that I can activate it whenever I like, which is you get all the benefits and none of the drawbacks. And it becomes insanely overpowered. So a number of things that I can do is, for example, if I ever get a 1 or 2 star wanted level, which is the cops coming after me, I can immediately play the closed replay and the police will no longer be interested in me. As you can imagine, in a game that is all about running from the police, not having to run from the police is quite handy. Also, it allows me to gain control inside of cutscenes, meaning that, for example, you see later on in this mission, there's going to be a section where a guy is going to try and escape from me inside of a cutscene. Usually you'd have to watch him drive away and you have to chase him, but I can kill him inside of the cutscene. What else did it do? It also allows me to set myself into a state where if I'm on a motorbike, if I crash hard, I'll fall off the motorbike and take damage, and obviously I'll have to get back on the bike and lose time. You can put yourself into a state with a close replay where you never take, you can't fall off the bike at all. So you also don't take damage, but the main part is that you can't fall off. So yeah, those are just 3 off the top of my head. Very, very overpowered replay, and we'll be using it a lot. But for now, we're just chilling, killing these guys. This is sort of an auto-scroller, but also sort of not, because you absolutely can optimize it, and many people do. I'm doing a safe variant here because of marathon stuff. But basically, the entire section is just based on how quickly you kill the last set of people. So as long as you kill everybody before the last set is ready to be killed, then you're as optimal as possible, really. But there are strategies to kill the final people way earlier than usual. But they involve a bit of luck and some difficult strats that I'm not going to do while commentating, because, you know, commentating solo is already tricky enough as it is. You know, there's a lot of things to talk about. So rather just play as safe as possible, turn my brain off, and focus on the commentary. So here, I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to kill this guy. I'm going to immediately play my close replay. And this is what I'm talking about, gaining control inside of a cutscene. So Tommy here, usually you shouldn't be able to move, but I can. And this guy is going to run away. No, he's not. I'm going to kill him. And just like that, I've got the briefcase. As you can hear by the dialogue there, Diaz is telling me to grab the briefcase, and I already have it, and I'm already bringing it back to him. And here I can do the same thing here, and as he's talking to me, I can just leave. And I'm gone, just like that. It is actually way faster as well. Not just because of the fact that I'm driving away and already going to my next destination by the time the cutscene finishes, but also for some reason the dialogue plays a lot faster when you're far away from Diaz. I don't know why that happens, but yeah. Anyway, moving on to Diaz's segment. So you immediately get your first and only real out of bounds here. It's very brief, right through the gate, just like that. The way that works is that this game is an old game, right? And if you ever fall out of bounds, it has like a system where it panics and it says, oh no, the player is out of bounds. We need to teleport them somewhere. Obviously in old janky games, it's quite common to fall out of bounds just by, things happening. Old game. So they implemented a system where if you ever went out of bounds, even for like a second, it will teleport you to like its next closest like safe destination. And it just so happens that we need to take a phone call in order to get through this gate that I just clipped through. But the phone call is more efficiently taken after you get through the gate while you're running to the next mission, like I just did. So what you can do is you can put your bike up against, get out of the bike at a certain timing and a certain speed, and you will clip through the gate, fall out of bounds, and the game will put you in the next closest safe destination, which just happens to be on the other side of the gate. You'll see that again later on, and we can actually skip all the way to the second island early to get fast vehicles that we can use before the game really opens up. But that's a couple of missions from now. For now, we're going to do some more close replay silliness here. We're going to once again gain control in a cutscene, and we're going to do some interesting stuff here. So what I'll do is, this is kind of tricky timing, so I'll do it, and then I'll talk about it afterwards, the same as earlier. Because when I've tried to commentate this live in the past, like play-by-play, I always mess it up. So I'm going to try and not mess it up.
You better keep on running, asshole.
While you're doing that, can I jump in?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, wonderful. I saw in chat some people were asking, what are we doing here? What are we raising money for? Well, we are raising money for a fellow speedrunner, LinearC, who has recently become a single mother and unexpectedly, and has accrued a lot of unexpected debt. And I wanted to tell y'all about her son. Linear is a single mom to her 9-year-old son, Ken, also known as Kenkun. He goes to a public Japanese immersion school where he is learning Japanese alongside his regular studies. His favorite video game is Sonic the Hedgehog, and he is Sonic and Shadow's biggest fan. Mood. He wants to be a speedrunner when he gets older and loves cheering on Linear in everything she does. 100% of your donations go towards helping Linear and Ken, so be sure to type !donate in chat and help us help Linear. It's a great cause. All of your donations are going directly to somebody who needs the help. It's really amazing to do these mutual aid marathons. Can we get, maybe, I'm thinking, a $5 donation train at 25 minutes? for everybody's favorite GTA game. I know everybody's got a different opinion on this. Vice City is some people's favorite. San Andreas is a big one. So tell me about it in your donations. I'd love to read them.
Vice City is objectively the best game. It's not even close. My opinion is correct. That's all.
Well,
that's all
we'll
I have
need
to say
some
on the matter.
donations from your community and from other GTA lovers to back that up. Like,
Yeah, I'll intentionally throw out bait so that they all nibble on it. You see? Yeah.
come on. And be sure to put their donation towards an incentive as well. We've got that 100%
yeah, of course,
for BPM. Let's do it.
Let's do it. But yeah, so let's talk about that chase strat that you saw. So what I did was I gained control inside of the cutscene, and I hijacked the driver out of his vehicle, and then I eliminated him, and then did some like weird musical chairs with the passenger. And basically, the passenger, all that needs to happen is that myself and the passenger gets to the destination. Doesn't matter how it's done, as long as myself and the passenger gets there, the mission will pass. What you can do is you can do that essential setup, so you can gain control in the cutscene, steal the car, and drive him to his own destination. So you basically become the driver. The reason why that's so fast is because the scripted path that the NPC takes, the driver that I killed, takes a really slow route all the way around like the North Point Mall. I'll even take a second to show you because I'm, so dedicated to the speedrun. He drives all the way around here and then back on himself before coming here to Prawn Island here. So instead, we can just take the most direct route, which is obviously very, very fast. So I deliberately neglected every single time I do this kind of commentary. I always mention about the things that closed replays are good at, and everybody says, but Ben, what about Phnom Penh? And that's because I like to show it here instead. Because, it's much funnier to, rather than talk about it, it's much funnier to just show you what happens. So if you play a closed replay during this section, which is a turret mode auto-scroller, you can not only gain control of Tommy and see him floating in the sky, but also you fire at 1 bullet per frame. So this gun that usually shoots like a bullet per second, it fires slowly with the benefit of it kills everything in 1 hit. Now we shoot at 30 bullets per second. So we are just a one-man wrecking crew. This helicopter, dead, just like that. Killed it within a few frames. We absolutely slaughter everybody here. And yeah, it is ridiculous how much damage you can do if you just start pre-firing all these enemies with a 1 bullet per frame gun, basically. As you can see, before Lance even tells us to shoot these guys, they're already dead. We just pre-fire everybody. So this is a common theme with Vice City auto-scrollers. This is an auto-scroller, but again, you just kill everybody so fast that you don't even get a chance to make it an auto-scroller, because this is just entirely dependent on how quickly you pre-fire everybody. So this is why I think Vice City is such a unique speed game, because it like completely redefines so many things in a regular speedrun. Like usually the whole point of an auto-scroller is that it can't be sped up, but we find a way to completely optimize it to the point where it's entirely based on skill instead of waiting around for things to happen. So a couple more guys here. One here, one there, 2 up top. This one here. This person will die to the van being blown up. I'm gonna try my best to pre-fire all of these guys, and that is because if I time it correctly, can shoot Lance out of the helicopter, which you wouldn't usually be able to do because you're in first person and you can't turn around that quickly. But yeah, as long as I'm quick here to pick up the briefcase before the mission fails, I can actually spawn Lance back in to pick me up after I just murdered him. For no reason. He's forgiven me, and he's come back from the hospital, as you do in GTA, and he's come to pick me up, and he's forgiven me for just shooting him a second ago. There we go. Mission passed. This mission, the fastest boat, has one of the easiest tricks that you can do. If you're a Vice City fan, but you don't want to necessarily get, get involved in the super complicated duping and glitching stuff that you saw before, you can learn this one. Like if I was going to teach you any strategy, this is one that you can do. It saves a ton of time, and all you've got to do is press 1 button. That's as simple as that. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to do the old COD Modern Warfare meme that was around for 10 years ago, and I'm going to press F. That's all I'm going to do. That's literally all the commentary is here. There's nothing else to say. And the reason is because this game is old, right? Tommy can't swim. code swimming in yet, and again, until San Andreas. So instead, he teleports into boats, and it just so happens that if you stand here in this corner and press F, you teleport into the boat, and that skips the entire part where you have to pull down the lever, fight a load of enemies to get through to get the boat lowered. You can just teleport straight into it because the developers put the boat a little too close to the fence. Yeah. They implemented that mechanic because it would be really unfair to expect players to like parkour around boats. So instead, you can teleport in and out of boats as long as you're near like a jetty or a shore or something like that. So yeah, if you want to learn to speedrun Vice City, make sure you've got an F key on your keyboard. If you do, brilliant, you're good to go.
That's fantastic. This game is amazing, by the way, and your commentary has been stellar. Absolutely incredible. I really want to see those $5 donations come in for people's favorite GTA game. Come on, let's get that train rolling.
So we have one more Diaz mission here before we move back to Cortez. There isn't really too much going on in this mission. It's literally just a boat race and then an auto scroll on the way back. And this, I regret to say, the one time it is an actual auto scroller. We are actually just waiting around. So what I usually do here is, because a lot of people, especially if I'm not running at like a GTA-based marathon, they might not know what is even happening in the game, right? And especially with the text being in Japanese, it might be difficult to understand what's going on with the game if you haven't seen it before. So I'll give you a quick TLDR of the lore. All that you need to know for this mission is that everybody else went east. It's actually faster to go north. So we win the race just because we choose the fastest route. I don't know why they don't do that. Maybe they're, you know, trying to take the scenic route or something, but we're trying to go fast, so we're going this way. Yeah, so during the auto-scroller, there's nothing else to say, so I'll give you a lore update. So we play as Tommy Vassetti, and we work for the Frelli family, which is like a mafia offset. And we have just come out of prison, and we get sent by our boss at the mafia, Sonny Frelli, to a drug deal. And as you can imagine, in these kind of games, the drug deal goes wrong. Truly shocking, I know. And Tommy loses both the money and the drugs. So he is, you know, his boss is really not happy with him. Lots of, you know, swear words are thrown around that I won't repeat because they're not very nice. Luckily, we skipped the cutscenes, so you don't see a lot of that. Yeah, Sonny is really not happy with this poor Thomas fellow, and we need to find out A, who did it, and we also need to find out B, where the stuff is so we can get it back to our boss. So the first half of the game is exactly that: finding out what's going on, finding out who is, you know, who jumped the deal, who betrayed us, and also working with Lance here. Lance is involved because Lance's brother. The Lance brothers were the other people that we were meeting in the drug deal, and Lance's brother was killed in the drug deal gone wrong. So Lance is helping us because he wants to find out who killed his brother, and we are trying to find out who stole the drugs and the money. So we're going to find out very soon. I'm going to do a bit of minor spoilers here to move the lore along. We find out that the guy that we're currently working for, Ricardo Diaz, he is the guy who jumped the deal, okay? So the first half of the game is spent finding that out and then taking over Diaz. And we're going to take over his mansion. We're going to take over everything, because that is how property development works. If you kill the person who owns the house, you are immediately entitled to the house. That is not financial advice, by the way. Just putting that out there. But that's how it works in the GTA world, okay? I can't speak whether it helps, you know, in the real world. I haven't tried it personally. So we find out that it's Diaz, and we take him out, and then the second half of the game is us basically turning the entire Vice City into like our empire, basically. We buy a load of businesses, we build them up, we get money for them, and then we unlock the final section of the game. So that's going to be really important later, the whole asset buying system, because it's the entire second half of the game. And it's very important because we skip the whole thing. That is the most important part of that second half, is that we don't do any of it for reasons that we'll get into later. But for now, we've got to steal a tank for Cortez. Why he wants a tank? I don't know. It's Vice City. Everyone wants a tank, you know? Don't we all want a tank? It'd be expensive. You could probably resell it for a decent amount on eBay if you think about it. So first, we're going to go ahead and go towards a tank, but we're going to head to here, which is the ice cream company. So we are going to buy some assets because we're going to use them for glitches later. So we're going to go here and we're going to make a replay over the property buy icon. And the reason why that is so important is because if you buy an asset in a replay with the broken system that we talked about before, two things happen, and both of them are very, very good for us. The first one is that you teleport straight to the assets. So you can basically use it as a free teleport to this side of the island whenever you need to. So if you're ever at the end of a mission, which we will be later, and thinking to ourselves, oh God, we're very far away. I need to, I need to teleport away to, I can't drive back, it's too far. Then we can just teleport, which is brilliant. The second thing is that we don't have a lot of money because we're not doing a lot of side content in this game. As you can imagine, usually the way these game flows work is that you need to do like side stuff to get enough money to be able to afford the assets in order to finish the game. And that is true in Vice City. If you do the regular missions, you won't have enough money to beat the game. However, if you buy an asset within a replay, they don't take the money. So you can just buy it for free. You still need to have the original amount of money. So we need to have the amount of money to afford the most expensive asset, which is $70,000. But once we have that amount of money, we will never lose any. So we can buy all the assets that we need that are $70,000 or less, and we don't lose any money. So those two things are extremely convenient because it makes the entire route work. The teleport is lesser, but the fact that we can buy things within a replay, obviously without that, this route wouldn't be possible. Runs in like 2014, 2013, before that was discovered, all that they did was they spent ages like going around farming money using like exploits and stuff, which was, not nearly as slow as doing it in a casual playthrough, but very slow nonetheless. So I'm shooting some vehicles here on the way back to my helicopter, and you might think, why on earth are you shooting vehicles? Well, the reason for that is if they get out of the car and I play a replay at that particular moment, as you can see, they get like stuck in time. And I feel like I say this so often, but it's very true. This game is old, and this is the reason why the strategy works. So, because this game is so old, it only has so much memory to dedicate to things like spawning in pedestrians on the street and traffic on the roads, like cars and stuff. So when I do that sort of replay shenanigan there with the cars and get these people stuck in time, they never despawn. Usually when you drive away, so I drive away from that road behind me, all the cars will despawn to free up memory to spawn vehicles on this street when I get near it. But because these people are stuck in memory, the game is keeping them loaded in the entire time. And again, the game is not built for that at all. So what is going to happen is, as you can see, there is very limited traffic on the road. Usually there would be several cars here at any one time. But because all of those cars are still loaded into memory, there is like basically no traffic on the road whatsoever. That is obviously a big benefit throughout the whole run, because it means that less traffic, less crashing the car, less, getting unlucky with somebody pulling into you and stuff. Typical Florida traffic. But it is actually going to be especially important because the second to last mission has a weird bug. We're gonna be like heavily glitching the game, and one drawback of that is that if during the second to last mission, during a certain cutscene, if a traffic vehicle spawns in that cutscene, we will instantly fail the mission, and obviously we want to avoid that. So glitching cars is also great because it also means that we can avoid that insta-fail mechanic because there won't be any traffic on the streets. It's not as simple as that. It's much more complicated, and it's essentially luck. But the more traffic that we glitch, the lower our chance of failing that mission and losing that time is. So, as you can imagine, I'm going to try and glitch as many cars as possible as we go through. I only have a couple right now, which is lower than usual. But I can take some time later on, a couple of seconds to glitch some cars. So now a quick lore update.
Seconds for some donations whenever you can.
Yeah, for sure. The one thing I'll say really just quickly is a quick lore update. We jumped Lance. Diaz jumped Lance because Lance tried to go after Diaz without our permission. Basically, he's jumping the gun, and that's why we have to save him from the scrapyard. So luckily, we brought a helicopter with us, which is very convenient. We don't have to fight our way in or out. So we can just go straight to the end of the mission. But yeah, helicopter flying. So feel free to read anything you've got.
Yeah, absolutely. I called for that $5 train at 25 minutes with favorite GTA games, and people are hopping on that train. That train is still going, so if you want to get your $5 into me and tell me your favorite GTA game, go ahead. But we've got $5 from Zola, who says simply 3, period. And we've got $5 from Rake, who says, I've speedrun every major GTA game. 3 is by far the best. So we've got 3 lovers, GTA 3 lovers in our donations right now.
So many wrong opinions, crazy.
Yeah, if you want to back up Ben, we've already heard that Ben's favorite is Vice City, but I mean, I want to see some San Andreas, I want to see some GTA 5 lovers. Come on, let's get them in. We've also got $50 from Shady Weaver, who says, Eastern Europe gang, let's go.
Thank you, Shady Weaver. That's very kind of you. Thank you, Zeller and Rake as well. Yeah, great calls that we're doing here. Shout out to everybody behind the scenes, working tirelessly. It's awesome to be part of it. Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for being here. You're incredible. This commentary has been masterful, and I challenged everybody to get to 700 by the end of this run. We are already at $688, only 12 away from that. So come on, chat, let's bring it home. Give me your favorite GTA games, and go ahead and put your incentive or your donation towards an incentive. Not an incentive, towards a donation. I know how to talk.
Perfect. So, here is the when we're talking about the lore update before on the first and the second half of the game. This is where the first half sort of ends, sort of halfway point. This is about. This is where we take out Diaz. This is a really conventional trick. It's always like a crowd pleaser. If you go here and you go to the front of Diaz's mansion, the game explicitly tells you that the door is locked. You need to go around and you need to go around the back. But I'm a speedrunner, so I'm just going to walk right through the door anyway. And then I'm going to kill Diaz. His AI isn't, there. He's just spawned in. And I'm just going to kill him and then activate the trigger and the mission's just going to pass. It's really weird that they said the door was locked because I clearly just walked on right through and I didn't have a key. So I'm not really understanding what the devs were going for there. But the door is clearly unlocked. You can just walk right through the side. It's no problem. Now, we're on the shakedown. So as you can see, we've got $50,000 there for that mission. And now we have $73,000, which is exactly the amount that we need for the rest of the game. So this route is chef's kiss. It works absolutely perfectly. So many things in this route just work out so perfectly to be as fast as possible. So no money grinding required. We have everything that we need. Now all we need to do is we need to start going towards assets. And in order to do that, we need to pass this mission. This mission unlocks assets on the map. So it's very important that we do it. And this mission has one of the very rare sets of luck-based mechanics, or RNG. Basically, how it works is that whenever so we have to go in and destroy all these windows. If you were looking at a world record speedrun of this, you would just use grenades. But in this route in particular, we have to basically roll the dice with it. So the first bullet can never break a window, but every single bullet after that has a percentage chance to break the window. So it is entirely possible that you could stand there for 60 seconds straight and not destroy any windows. It happens rarely because, how maths works, but it is possible that it happens, and it's very annoying that it does. So yeah, in high level attempts, you use grenades instead, which is, it's nice to get rid of the rare luck-based stuff. So we're going to make a pit stop at ammunition as well. I'm going to buy some armor, just for safety. No, I'm not. I'm going to press the wrong button. Now I'm going to buy some armor. That sounds silly, but the controls are actually different based on the version that you play. So it's easy to mix them up in my head. I'm going to get some grenades and I'm going to get a sniper rifle. So the grenades are very useful because you can blow up a number of things from far away, such as those windows up there. It's a cool little throw that you can do. We're going to destroy the rest of these windows, and then we're going to make use of that teleport. Sniper rifle will be used later on. We'll get to that later. But do you remember when I said, at some point we're going to finish a mission, we're going to be so far away from anything? That's right now. So instead, I'm going to teleport back to the ice cream company and purchase that property. Again, it cost me no money. We need this property later. So it is very important that we buy it at some point. And now is a perfect time to buy it because it also acts as a teleport back. And if you listen, I'll just stop talking for a second. You can listen to the music. That there is the mall music, and that is very important. As you can see, the entire game is deloaded. The game is not very happy with me. What has happened is because we technically never left the mall, because we never walked out of the front door, the game still thinks we're inside the mall, hence why you can still hear the music. That is going to be very important 2 missions from now, I'll remind you. But until then, we just start bar brawl, which is the mission beforehand. Walking in and out of an interior such as the mansion undoes that sort of interior glitchy world thing. We don't need to worry about that, because obviously playing the rest of the game without being able to see where we're going would be quite difficult. So I want to undo that as quickly as possible. But yeah, the teleporting out of the mall is not only good for teleportation because it's quick, it's faster than running or driving, but also it is going to be very important to skip a segment of a mission later on. So keep that in the back of your mind again. for now, we're just going to go ahead and go to barb roll. This mission is very simple conceptually, but it's very easy to mess up. So again, if I mess it up, I'm going to try and glitch this car here. Perfect. Again, the more cars, the better. Even if it takes me a couple of seconds to get it, it's much safer in the long run to glitch as much traffic as possible. So I'm more than happy to lose a few seconds to glitch some traffic here. So we're going to take these guys out, and then we're going to do a lineup where essentially what's going to happen is we're going to kill a bunch of guys around the corner just here, and 2 more guys are going to spawn on motorbikes. And if I do it correctly, I'll be able to set myself up in a position where I can snipe them before they drive away. And as I say, this is quite a tricky snipe to hit, so don't be surprised if I beef it. I'm not very good at this game, I promise. I practice every day, but you know, yeah, it doesn't beat natural talent, you see. So I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna aim, and I'm gonna crouch. Crouching means that it doesn't pull me away in the cutscene. So I'm in my zone to kill these guys. I kill this guy, and I kill this guy. Perfect. Did not choke it. Never any doubt in my mind. I did not think for a second that I was going to choke that strat. I've never choked it in my life. I've never failed a speedrun strat, ever. And I'm going to glitch this car as well to be double safe. I'll wait for him. There we go. Perfect. So what I've got now is like the optimal amount of glitch traffic. So we should be good for the insta-fail later on. I do talk about the insta-fail a lot because it is annoying when it happens, but it does only lose about 20 seconds per time that it fails. So it's not a massive deal, but again, you might as well take 2 seconds to avoid losing 20 seconds later, you know? So, right. Remember that thing I said a couple of seconds ago where we're going to skip a portion of a mission here? This is, if you ask any like beginner to intermediate Vice City speedrunner, they will tell you this is the worst mission in the game. It is absolutely horrendous. I start panicking, I start shaking when I do it every single time. And that is because of the whole leaving the mall strategy that we did before. So I'm going to start this mission. I'm going to immediately get 5 stars, which is the FBI chasing me. They are very, very lethal. So I need to be very, very careful when I'm dealing with them. As you can see, there's already police coming at me. I'm going to shoot, send off some like warning shots. And I need to concentrate here, but I'll do my best to commentate as we go. So if you start this mission normally, what you'll need to do is you'll need to get a wanted level of 2 stars or above. 5 stars is obviously more than 2, so we've done that. In order to progress to the next section. The reason why we got 5 stars immediately the second we started the mission is because if during this mission at any time, if you go into the mall without a cop uniform, as we're trying to infiltrate the mall, essentially, that's all you need to know for the law reasons. If you go in there without a cop uniform, which we're getting right now, then you get 5 stars. So because of the fact that we teleported out of the mall all the way towards the start, towards the end of Shakedown, we teleported out and the game thinks that we're in the mall the entire time. So we start the mission, the game thinks we're in a mall without a uniform. Oh no, 5 stars immediately. As you can imagine, that's very risky because 5 stars, as I say, the police are absolutely lethal. The glitch traffic helps a lot, but you absolutely can get killed here if you're not careful. But as you can imagine, it's also very fast because it skips the first section of the mission entirely where you have to get a wanted level. You have choices that you can do. You can, you can rob a store, you can kill people until you get the police after you. You can run over people or whatever. But all of that takes time, and we skip that entire thing. So it's also very, very fast. Kill these guys. These guys are aggressive towards you if you do the 5-star glitch, whereas they usually wouldn't be. So we have to kill them ahead of time, otherwise they will demolish us. So now we need to get out.
I have a quick question. How much longer is left in this run?
Great question. Give me one moment. Try and get Lance with me. Lance's AI is horrible because, again, game old, so I need to be very careful to, not have him get lost or stuck or anything. There is about 12 to 15 minutes left-ish, depending on how well I do the end game.
All right, sounds good. So go ahead and get your tickets into that train, $5 with your favorite GTA game or whatever else you want to say, and click that incentive when you donate. Whenever you would like me to read those, I will, but get those in before the run ends. It's going really fast.
These runs always do go very, very quickly. An hour sounds like a long time, but when I do these, I just blink and 45 minutes goes past. It's always always fun to do.
And we're $7 away from $700, so let's get that before the run ends. Come on.
Yeah, easily. But yeah, so as you saw, all the way back at Shakedown, I parked my helicopter there, and I did a bunch of manipulation. I won't go too much into it because I've got a lot of things to talk about towards the end game. But I did a bunch of manipulations so that I would keep the helicopter. Usually Tommy can only have 2 personal vehicles, and I drove like 4 or 5. But I deliberately despawned vehicles at certain times so that the helicopter would stay spawned, and I could use it at the end of Copland to fly away, because driving back with 5 stars is very risky, and flying back straight over the ocean is way quicker. So this is where we're going to get towards the end game. So if you remember when I said that you had like a break from the super glitchy stuff, that break is now over. So notepads out. Let's do some glitches. So big breaths. This is where we're going to start it. So the way the end game works in this game is you complete Shakedown, right? You complete the Vassetti estate like we just did, which is 1 asset. We need to also complete the Printworks asset, which is right here. This is mandatory along with the Vassetti estate, which is the mansion missions that we just did. And then we need to complete 5 other assets of our choice. There are 9, I think, total, 9 or 10, something like that. And you can do any 5 of them that you wish. So it opens up like a complete non-linear section of the game. But we are going to do a bunch of glitches that skips that entire thing. That is one glitch right there. That is just another way of setting up an on Mission Zero rampage like I did all the way at the start of the game. But instead of using the ambulance, because there isn't one nearby, instead I used a save marker, because the save marker, once you exit the save screen after picking it up, it sets you on Mission Zero. So it turns that light switch off, puts you back into free run mode, which we can use to start this mission. So we have started spilling the beans. This is the first Printworks mission. This one isn't particularly important. It's the second one that is way more important. So you might think to yourself, well, if you're going to skip all of the assets, then why did you buy that ice cream studio earlier? Because, you know, it's a optional asset. You don't have to do it, and you said you're going to skip them all anyway. So why would we buy the ice cream asset? It doesn't make a ton of sense to me. And the reason for that is because what we can do is we can do 2 different glitches here, and when combined, they save about half an hour in the run. They skip the entire second half of the game. The first glitch is what is called an Instapass. So what an Instapass is it's very similar to what we did at Jury Fury at the start of the game, but it's slightly different. And basically the way it works is that we're going to start the second Printworks mission, the one after this one, called Hit the Courier. And then we are going to set our on-mission flag to 0. And then we are going to start the ice cream asset mission. The ice cream asset mission just has one objective that we need to do. And what is going to happen 99% of the time, if you try and do this like at home, if you just start any random A mission and then start a B mission, you will just crash the game, because the game is not supposed to deal with that at all. You know, old game, old code, I don't handle these kind of glitches. But 1% of the time, if the stars align and you do the perfect mission into the perfect mission, what instead will happen is the B mission will pass. And as you can imagine, this asset, where we only have one objective, if we pass that mission, we have gained an asset. And the game isn't smart enough, again, old game, it's not smart enough to know that we have already completed that asset. So what we can do is we can actually complete that asset over and over again to get our asset counter up to the number that we need in order to beat the final 2 missions of the game. So usually, like in a modern game, you would see, you know, as player completed asset 1, yes or no, as they completed asset 2. But this game just counts assets because it doesn't believe that you should be able to do it several times. So we are going to do this glitch 5 times, this Instapass. And what we're also doing at the same time, as you heard with the phone call there, is we are going to chain what's called an on Mission Zero phone call. Basically, our phone is ringing. We're not going to answer it because the phone acts as a mission in this game. Again, old game. I keep saying that, but it's very true. So what we're going to do is what I just did there is I did the Instapass. It goes by very quickly. That is 1 Instapass done. But now that we're all caught up, I'm going to take you through it sort of play by play. So I've started Hit the Courier, which is the second Printworks mission, as I mentioned. And then I'm going to go ahead and ride my bike over here. I'm going to fling it because I don't need it just now. I'm going to enter the ice cream van, and that is going to Instapass the ice cream mission. Then, before the phone call comes back in, I'm going to teleport back with the save marker. The phone call is going to come in. The ice cream mission passes, which sets me back on Mission Zero, aka free roam mode. and then I can start this mission with the phone call ringing. Again, you should never be able to do that. Phone calls and missions should never be done at the same time. You'll see some more phone call shenanigans later on, but the main important thing is that as soon as I cancel the phone call, I go back on mission 0, aka light switch off, and then I can do this cycle over and over again. I can have 100 assets if I want to, even though there's only 10 in the game. It doesn't matter. It's not fast to do that. Obviously, it would take a long time. So all we need is 5. So we're going to do this 5 times. That is number 2. And we are going to repeat this 3 more times. And then what we're going to do is we're going to complete the Printworks mission. There are only 2 missions in the Printworks asset. So once we've completed mission 1 and mission 2, which is what we're going to be doing in a few minutes, and we have the Vassetti estate completed, we saw there. Give me a second here. That may... Yeah, okay, that's fine. So what went wrong there is I didn't quite get the phone call in time because of Tommy stumbled getting on the bike, so I wasn't quite quick enough. Luckily, as I said, I've ran this game for a very long time, so I know every backup under the sun. And all we need to do is set up the on mission 0 phone call again here with this police cheater. It is not spawned for some reason. Old game, thank you. Where's my bike? Yeah, so all that we need to do is get another on mission 0 phone call. Hopefully when I drive back and forth, the police cheater will spawn. I've never seen it just not spawning like that. It's strange. If you're going to say, oh, is it because of the glitch traffic? Fixed spawns don't count to this counter. Is it here? Perfect, it is. So this backup is as simple as just starting Vigilante, which is this submission here, and teleporting with the save marker at the same time. Now we're going to hold our Vigilante key, and we're just going to wait for the phone call to come in, and then we're going to let go of Vigilante, and that puts us back on cycle, essentially. Going to wait a few seconds here, wait for the phone call, come in any second now. There we go, let go, and then we're back on cycle. So we've got the on mission 0 call back. We do lose the PCJ, which is a shame, but we have a cheater, which is equally as fast. It's not equally as fast. I don't know why I said that. That is a complete lie, and I spread misinformation on the internet. It's not quite as fast, but it's fast enough for us to do everything that we need to do. So that was Instapass 3. This is going to be number 4. Here we go. The phone call comes through. Wait for the mission to pass. Again, it's going to be the last one. So yeah, as I was saying, so we will have the Vassetti estate done. We will have the Printworks done because we'll be completing Hit the Courier in just a moment. We'll be doing the mission properly. And then we will have 5 lots of the ice cream asset. And if you remember when I explained all the way at the start, that is exactly what we need in order to unlock the final 2 missions of the game. So without actually doing any assets, we are going to completely skip the entire second half of the game. And yeah, happy days. Makes it very fast. So I'm going to hit the courier 1 final time. We've done the 5 Instapasses, and I'm going to answer this call from Sonny. Again, he's not very happy with us because we still haven't gotten him his money, which is understandable, you know, completely understandable.
That's the opposite of chat. Chat is sending in donations, so whenever you're ready, I've got them.
Feel free. You've got a time for 1 or 2.
Fantastic. Well, I called for that $5 train, and y'all delivered. We've got $5 from Phase Commander, who says, no GTA better than 4. Another one enters the ring.
Dark Horse, GTA 4, yeah.
I know. And then we've got $25 from James Swan, who says, 5 tickets to the $5 train, please. Thank you for all those tickets. Don't forget to add an incentive with your tickets. That is right. We've got so many amazing things to add your donation to right now, like the upgrade to 100% incentive for bullets per minute later. That is at $37 out of the $150 needed, so just a little bit more than $100 left. Make sure to click that incentive when you donate, or you can donate towards that Hi-Fi Rush Bid War, which is our very next run, by the way. Also, thank you all so much for getting us to $700. Woohoo!
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone who's donated. Yeah, so the only thing that's important here that we're talking about phone calls, usually all these ladies are enemies and they would all shoot me, but because I'm on a phone call, which the game never expects, when you're on a phone call, it has a flag that sets enemies to not attack you. So as long as I'm on a phone call here, I can chill, complete the mission without any of these enemies attacking me, which is very, very nice. So all I need to do is get rid of this lady who has these plates that I need. I'll pick them up. Fun little bug is that, as you can see, the icon is still there, which makes me think that I haven't picked up the plates, but I have. I know I have. It's a silly little bug. Again, old game.
I'm warning you.
But there's a classic meme in the community where your chat will make you think that you've not picked up the plates, when in reality you have. Nothing like gaslighting from the chat room. It's always a good time. Yeah, so we just went in and out, a nice little sneaky mission there. We're going to teleport back as well. The teleport doesn't activate until we're in the same district. So we're in the same district as soon as we go past this sign. So he's going to be teleporting immediately. We're going to get a phone call from Lance. He's also not very happy with us. We're going to wait until a certain dialogue line here before we finish the mission. And I also need to make sure that I jump over the marker here, because since I'm on mission 0, the ending marker is exactly the same place as where the starting marker is. So if I were to jump into the marker, I would start the mission again, and I don't want to do that. I want to be done with this mission for now. So now we are officially done with everything heavily glitch related. So if again you were rolling your eyes at all the glitches, Merry Christmas. We're pretty much done. Failing that strat and having to pick up the cheater is quite unfortunate, because now it's raining, and this strat is really cool, but it usually doesn't work in the rain. I'll give it a go because there's no reason not to. I might as well try it. But there's a good chance that it won't work in the rain. So if it doesn't, it's unfortunate. It is what it is. But this strat, again, is very simple. These collectors, this is where the insta-fail can happen, by the way. This is the cutscene. Luckily, we didn't get anything in the cutscene, so that's perfect. So I'm going to crouch down here, and I'm going to fire my sniper rifle in a really, really specific position. Again, this strategy, the reference might not work because of rain, but I'll give it a go. Go again. We have plenty of tries because we have a ton of sniper rifle ammo. But if it doesn't work in a couple of tries, I'll just go and kill them normally. Because, you know, why not? But basically, the reason why this doesn't work with rain is because the collectors are like physics-based, right? Like they hit their brakes in game. And when it's raining, they slide to a completely different position. There we go. I got them third try. Better than not getting them at all, but obviously usually that would be quite slow. But yeah, so because it's raining, the game actually has different physics based on whether it's raining or not. So the collectors usually go to a certain place, but because it was raining in the cutscene, they slide a little further than usual. So the usual speedrun reference doesn't work. And I don't usually get rain here, so I'm not particularly practiced on the rain reference. But we got them nonetheless. Took a little while, but all good. This is by far the hardest mission in the game in runs when you're on PB pace, because hitting that snipe through the wall, and also that's like almost pixel perfect, and then killing these sets of guys with these tricky snipes when your like hands are shaking and, you know, wetting a little bit because you're on really good pace is extremely difficult. Like very, very difficult to do. So instead, I'm just going to play it safe, and I'm just going to kill these guys with the car. There we go. Nice and easy. And now we're on to the final mission of the game. So if you want to get any donations in for your incorrect opinions by saying that GTA 3 is better than Vice City, you don't have a lot of time. So let's...
Yeah, last few minutes. Let's get them in. And remember to put them towards that 100% upgrade. Scroll on down. Click incentives.
Yes. Make sure everything goes towards an incentive. Very, very important. So one last save walk teleport there. We're in the interior world again because we never entered the mansion through the doors, but as soon as we start the mission, that'll fix. So this final mission is super simple when you're playing it safe. It's very, very basic. You start the mission, and 60 seconds later, Lance will spawn. Slight spoiler, in that last cutscene, Lance betrays you, so we need to kill him. And then after Lance spawns, 2 minutes after the mission starts, as long as Lance is dead, Sonny will spawn. So basically a minute after Lance, you kill Lance, minute after Lance, Sonny spawns. And then we kill him, and that is time. So I'll count in towards time when we're closer, but just so the tech people behind the scenes know, it will be time in a minute and a half from now also. But as you can see, nothing's really happening. This mission is coded weirdly, and if you don't touch your mouse, so you're not moving, nothing spawns. So usually, this game is inspired a lot by Scarface, right? I don't know if you guys have ever seen the Scarface films, but this is supposed to be the ending of Scarface. So Tommy is supposed to go like, you know, say hello to my little friend and kill everyone as they're coming up the stairs. But that just doesn't happen because they just don't spawn because the mission's weirdly programmed. But there's Lance.
You're going down, you backstabbing
Excuse me.
You think so?
Usually he would be running up the staircase. You can like mess with him. You can kill him early as well. But I didn't have my fists equipped. Usually I punch him, but you can just go up here and kill him. It's not any slower to kill him this way. It doesn't make a difference. Because this whole mission's on a timer anyway, and we're waiting for Sunny to spawn. So Sunny will be spawning in about 30 seconds or so. And once he does, we'll kill him, and that will be the end of the run. So I'll quickly say thank you to everyone who came out and supported. Thank you to everyone behind the scenes as well for inviting me and making this happen. Thank you to my lovely host as well. Feel free to say anything final.
Aw, thank you. I do have $7 from James Swan, who says $7 for 700 and a few towards dropping Corsica and Hi-Fi Rush. That's right, that bid war is only $11, by the way, towards catching Corsica. So if you want to see us drop Corsica in the very next run, you can go ahead and donate towards that. We've also got $7 from Tabby, who says, shout out to the chat mod crew. Love y'all. Less than 3. So sweet.
Thank you very much.
Everybody is amazing in this marathon, including English Ben. What a fantastic.
Perfect timing, because that is time in 3, 2, 1, time. There we go. That's GTA Vice City. Didn't really get to see much of the second half of the game because of all the glitches, but that's GTA for you. Yeah, thank you again to everyone for coming along and supporting the cause. I appreciate you all. Thank you again to everyone behind the scenes.
What does it look like?
That's all from me. Hope you all have a great evening or afternoon for the Americans here. Yeah.
And also,
that's all from
where
me.
can chat find you if they want to see more? Where can chat find you if they want to see more?
Oh yeah, of course. I'm always really terrible with this whole plugging thing. Sorry. You can find me on Twitch. Of course, I stream here. Twitch.tv/English_Ben. I might remove the underscore from my name on Twitch one day, but for now I've got it in there. And you can also find my YouTube channel, English Ben, with a space in between. I keep everything different just so you struggle as much as possible to find me. That's, you know, a little fun game of cat and mouse there. But you can find me on YouTube and Twitch. I do these speedruns all the time. I do challenge runs. I do like Kaizo mod playthroughs for GTA and stuff.
What do you think it means?
So yeah, you can find me there.
We're in charge.
And yeah, thank you again.
Tommy!
Well, thank you,
You know,
so
Ken,
much. What a fantastic
I think this could be
time.
the beginning of a beautiful business relationship.
After all, you're a conniving backstab.